Yes, yes. Wow. I didn't expect that yes to be as good as it was. That could really bode well for the next 60 minutes of Balloon Party here on 101 ESPN. My name is Timothy Michael McKernan. That is Jackson Burkett wearing all black everything because Missouri is winless in the Southeastern Conference.
Yep.
Oh, no.
I don't have like a take. Like that's just like my thing. It's like everyone's like, boy, Mizzou's so bad and terrible. It's like sick. Like you can read the standings. Like
wow.
I just don't find like anything interesting.
Rooster.
Well, I don't know.
Well, all right. You want to talk about ILL?
Oh, that was a really fun game to watch.
Yeah, you were watching that.
I was kind of bouncing around. And
you surprised me this morning on TMA by raving about the Joel Hofer save.
That was unbelievable.
It was unbelievable. What was more unbelievable is that you knew about it.
He had a couple really good ones there early. The Blues looked like that like first 10 minutes that they were getting like punched in the mouth real hard.
They were indeed.
Like
they were on the defensive. A lot of time in their own. I was watching it with my 6-year-old. We're kind of breaking it down. I go, boy, you notice how Joel Hofer's on TV most of this game so far? That isn't a good sign because that means the puck is in their own zone. Then they kind of flipped the script, took a 2-goal lead, and then wound up losing 4-2. They scored 2 goals on, 9 of 11 shots, and then they had 9 shots the rest of the game. Not good. And so with that, the Blues lose one that looked like they were about to win. And last night, the Predators picked up a point but lost in overtime. The Kings I don't know. Either way, all I know is Vegas is now the top wild card team in the West. And the Kings are in 3rd place in the Pacific. Point being, lot doing. Jeremy Rutherford was on TMA about an hour and a half ago. He is flying to the tri-state area to be there with the Blues as they take on the Devils. Pregame 5 p.m. tomorrow here on 101 ESPN and the trade deadline. And what will take place today, tomorrow, and Friday for your St. Louis Blues. There it is. The table has been set. Jackson has a wide berth Wednesday. You are welcome to participate. Just like I hate paper straws. Adam, is it Adam Well or Adam Welly?
Let's go with Welly. I like that.
Bishon About Sports is looking for Jackson to break down the power play again. And A.J. Brown is in there. And that's kind of
nice. It's
kind of fun because I've had him on my fantasy team before, and now to have him reciprocate and watch Balloon Party is a banner day. So, Jackson, I'm going to let you just take it from here, and I'll answer any questions you may have.
All right. Well, the first part is not necessarily questions, just my observations from the game last night.
The Blues game?
That's right.
Wow. What's going on?
Joel Hofer. Holy moly. I mean, that save that you were talking about where he kind of runs back to the goal after being behind the net and saves it, that was unbelievable. That's one of the best saves I've ever seen. Very reminiscent, that started the game of Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Finals, where they're just bombarding you in the offensive zone the whole time, and you come away up 2-0. Not bad.
I respect the analogy. I get the spirit of the analogy. Perhaps it was because it was a regular season game between two teams on the outside looking in of their respective conferences playoffs that obviously didn't have the intensity of that. But my goodness, my recollection of like the first 8 minutes of Game 7 of the 2019 Stanley Cup Final, I felt like the Bruins had 5 #glorious scoring opportunities. And yes, the Islanders dominated play, but I didn't feel like it was, I don't like to use the word lopsided. That's just something that's kind of ingrained in me, but I didn't feel like it was that lopsided. But maybe I'm off, you know, because it's not like people on the island were screaming last night like they were in Boston in June 2019. Hey.
Well, the regular season and especially Stanley Cup Final, but playoff hockey in general are such a different vibe.
You better believe it, Jack.
Yeah. So Joel Hofer was my first observation. Holy moly. And my second observation, I said it on TMA, the guy who scored the first goal for the Islanders looked like my dentist. Or just a
did
dentist.
You recognize Jackson's dentist scoring a goal for the Islanders last night? 314-399-9646.
Like they panned.
Does he moonlight?
I don't know, but like they panned to the guy who scored the goal, and I was like, what is, like, he looked like, I said, like a 1930s actor in a boxing movie. Like
Cinderella Man, which I assume is good.
Yeah, it's good.
Oh, wow.
It's good. It's good. Cinderella Man's good.
Wow, I really like Cinderella Man.
Yeah, I like it a lot, too. Max Baer.
Yeah, but I don't get the sense you really like it.
There's like sports movies out there that like in general, all sports movies are somewhat cheesy. Like they're kind of
not Rudy.
This might be the cheesiest of them all, but like there's a point where the cheesy actually becomes like pretty good. And like Miracle is a great example of, and because it's a real story, but there's some cheese along with it, but it's great. Field of Dreams, some people like the cheese. I don't personally like it.
Oh, you hate Field of Dreams now, too.
Cinderella Man has a good amount of that. It's a little long, but I like Cinderella Man. You're not going to catch me talking bad about it.
Okay. I just felt like it wasn't as big of an endorsement as I would have thought.
The boxing movie realm has a lot of greatness in it, and I don't know if I would consider Cinderella Man in that like pantheon of greatness, but it's good. It's good. Don't get me wrong.
Okay, fine. Mount Rushmore of boxing movies go. Rocky IV,
1.
George Washington, Toy.
Yeah, Rocky 1 and Rocky 4 are on there for me.
Nice.
Raging Bull.
Okay.
And then I really like the Creed movies, but I'm going to go with The Fighter.
The Fighter, Christian Bale.
Yeah, really, really good. So I'll go with
Jackson's Mount Rushmore has just been released.
Yeah. $1 Million Baby, not anywhere near the Mount Rushmore.
But yet won Best Picture.
Yeah, poof, that was a bad run of Best Picture winners. All right, my third observation, there seems to be, like, there should be a much more effective way to win a face-off. Like, there should be, like, a school.
Oh, wow. On Monday, we got a power play breakdown. Today, we're going to get education on how to win a face-off.
Their second goal was a direct result of not winning that face-off.
Oh, this is unbelievable. What's going on here?
On the deflection. I feel like there's got to be, like, some sort of,
was it a direct result of the icing that preceded it?
It could be either way, but chicken and egg. But I feel like there should be like an academy on like winning face-offs. Like that should just be someone's sole job.
You know who was a Jim Dandy at winning face-offs while he was in St. Louis?
Walter, the great one. Brett Hull.
I like that you're just naming
Manny Legacy.
Manny Legacy is right. That is correct. The Conn Smythe winner.
Pronger. Jamie Rivers. I got like a couple more.
Ryan O'Reilly.
Oh, yeah. Redhead.
That's correct.
Yeah, I mean,
it's bright red.
And he was on the team that won the cup. I just think that, like, face-off should be a bigger point of emphasis. And my final one is the Islanders have great sweaters.
You liked those sweaters last night. You were really critical of the Flyers, kind of switching it up on Monday.
That was terrible, but I'm not a huge fan of the white shoulders, but the Islanders, the blue and orange works, and they incorporate the island, the long island, in the logo. I think it looks good.
Do you like the Oilers when they go with their classic?
Yeah.
And they got the blue and the orange?
Yeah, the 85 greatness team, kind of keeping up with that. I like that.
All right, fair enough. There it is. I always like a good sweater observation. And also, that was a hell of a clinic on winning face-offs.
I think there needs to actually be a clinic on winning faceoffs. Like, it should just be like an hour of practice every single day. It's like, we're going to win as many faceoffs as possible.
Marcia's Burner asked the question, what happened to Jackson? Who is in his ear? So he thinks like somebody, you're wearing an IFB and somebody's giving you this hockey knowledge that you've been spouting here.
Tim just asked the Conn Smythe winner, and I just named every blue I know.
I think Marcia's Burner might be on a tape delay.
Yeah, that could be the case. No, I don't know. Just kind of keeping up with it more.
Sure.
Like, there's moments where hockey games are like super exciting to me, and really like Torpchenko's goal, sick. That was nasty.
What is going on here?
That was nasty. But like other times, it's just like, oh man, like that goal where they score on the faceoff. That's just like total luck. Like that's what frustrates me about the game.
Luck?
Yeah, it's just like it's all luck of where the puck bounced.
I understand that. And I'm going to go nerdy here, and I'm going to look at the clock. 8:25 is how long the segment is, so I'm going to try to cut it off at 9:25. Theoretically, greatness in sports, as statistically boring as this is about increasing your opportunity for scoring, whether that be in your game, the National Basketball Association, or in the NHL, or if you're barreling balls in baseball, if your offensive line has control of the line of scrimmage, it's going to give your quarterback more time, your running back more holes to run through, and golf, shot dispersion. So from that standpoint, yes, but if you have a number of scoring opportunities and you dominate play, that's why sometimes I'll talk about a playoff hockey game in particular, and I'll go, if I'm scoring this like a boxing match, the Blues really won 10-9, even though they lost the game 4-2. So in the case of last night, the Blues were leading 2-0, and as I heard Joey Vitale say on Kerber's podcast, he goes, you're just watching that clock and going, okay, 7 minutes, 6 minutes, and then all of a sudden they break through, and then you see them tie it up, and you're going, oh, crap, here we go. This is going to be a real missed opportunity. But the Blues withstood when the Islanders were dominating play, and then they got themselves a nice 2-goal lead. So, yes, there's puck luck, but the more often you put the puck on net, the higher the probability is you're going to get through, which is frustrated Blues fans, specifically with the power play this year. Jackson and I wound up going a minute 20 on that, and I apologize because I wanted to keep it to a minute.
I like sports nerd stuff like that. Yeah. I think it's interesting.
But you get what I'm saying
totally.
on that luck is created by the more chances you have.
Right. Yeah, teams aren't like putting up 3 shots a night and then 2 of them are lucky and went in and winning. That's just not going to happen if you stretch the season out.
And that's why, for example, when Binnington withstood 41 shots and they gave up only 1 goal on Monday in Philadelphia and the Blues had, 25, 26 shots, it's like, yeah, they won, but the average hockey nerd is, and I don't know if you're going to be a hockey nerd to go, this isn't a winning formula that is sustainable.
Totally.
So if the shoe were on the other foot, for example, the Blues only picked up 1 point, but they were in the flyer spot of dominating play, and in that case, shots on goal, and the Blues were second in the Central, you go, it sucks they only picked up a point, but man, they're playing some good hockey and they really should have won that game. And you can feel like that is more likely to be sustainable. Essentially right now, the Blues' success for the remainder of whatever it is in 2024 is tied to Jordan Binnington. And that doesn't even really matter what they do here over the next 54 hours with the trade deadline. That's not a real winning formula. It can win. I'm sure LA Kings fans would point to Jonathan Quick and the job he did in their runs, but that's what the Blues' modus operandi is for success. And I'm sorry to flash my Latin on the audience. I try to be a meat and potatoes guy, and right there I feel like I was more of a Horton Watkins nobleman right there, and that's not who I am. It's not who I am, and I apologize for that.
Carpe diem.
Nice. Dead Poets Society, I'm going to say 90 because it's going to get me 89 and 91.
89.
All right, well, I shipped it then.
Yeah.
I always get the...
Yeah, you get the 2 on each side.
Thank you so much. Do you have any other... It's 10:17, Clarkson Jewelers time check. I mean, these first segments are becoming Jackson Schools the audience on ice hockey.
And I don't mean to... I just, I had some observations from last night.
What are you doing watching the games?
ESPN Plus, easy to access. Toss it on for a little bit, go back to the Illinois-Purdue game.
So Missouri was 3rd on the docket last night?
They've no longer earned my eyeballs.
Oh, my goodness.
What am I watching for? It just depresses me. Why would I watch something that puts me through hell?
I understand. I'm surprised they get as many people in that building. I mean, I realized that was it last night, but...
Yeah, I don't know. It's just brutal.
Right. Wow, you are really despondent on these.
I'm confident they'll be back next year to prominence.
All right, fair enough. There's Jackson Burkett. I'm Tim McKernan. Jackson has the rest of the Wide Berth Wednesday as we follow up on the Sonny Gray / Cardinal pitching situation. That is next here on Balloon Party 101 ESPN. Welcome back. This is Balloon Party, and it is 101 ESPN. My name is Timothy Michael McKernan. That is Jackson Bennett Burkett, and this is the second segment of the award-winning Balloon Party presentation, voted by Inside STL investors as the number one-hour midday show in St. Louis. So thank you to everybody at Inside STL for your support, and thank you to those of you in the Balloon Party Mafia who were in that YouTube chat talking it over, including Eagles receiver A.J. Brown. And you can text into the Air Comfort Service text line at 314-399-9646 to participate in the conversation as well. And I just realized as I glanced at the YouTube that it looks like I'm drinking scotch and I'm sitting at a happy hour in kind of a dimly lit place in the financial district of Manhattan. That's what I look like right now. I kind of look like old money.
Yeah, I mean, you look comfortable. I
am comfortable. I'm just listening to you talk hockey, and I kind of feel like I should pay for it.
There is no worse lighting in this building than where I'm sitting right now. I look actually clear in the video.
Well, there are lights on that track up there. You think if we turn those on, it would help?
Toplet's not good for me either.
Oh, is that right? Is that the skin tone?
Yeah, that's what I'm dealing with, right? I look as pale as I've ever looked, and
I don't notice any difference.
That's not encouraging.
I really don't. Where's the cigar and whiskey, Tim? That's from Bub. So Bub sees what I'm saying. Yeah,
you look comfortable.
I'm enjoying our conversation, and I know we're about to talk Cardinals and what have you and whatnot.
I think that was a perfect segue to my question here. And it's a hypothetical. Little Piddles hypothetical. These are rare.
I enjoy a good Little Piddles hypothetical on a wide berth Wednesday on 101 ESPN.
So it has to do with Sonny Gray's injury. Let's say that Sonny Gray's injury was a little more serious, or actually a lot more serious. It would cause him to miss the 2024 season.
Holy crap. Okay, wow.
This is a hypothetical, pure hypothetical here.
All right.
Do you think the Cardinals would pony up for either Snell or Montgomery, or would they do the possible Red Sox move and fade those two and avoid the spend entirely?
Gosh, I like a good hypothetical, and I want to emphasize that this is a hypothetical. I think the Cardinals, I think they would go get one of them. And here's the reason. They're in the National League Central. It's winnable. It'd be winnable without Sonny Gray.
Yeah.
It's just such a bad division. At least I expect it to be. Maybe it'll wind up being the second coming, but I just don't see it. I think it was 2015 where you had the Cardinals win 100, the Cubs win 98, and the Pirates win 97 or something like that.
Yep. Maybe
that'll happen again. I'll get my odds on it. But with respect to the Cardinals situation, it's different than the Red Sox because the Red Sox are in, I don't know. I mean, there are 4 really good divisions in baseball this year and 2 terrible ones, and they're both the Centrals. So if you're the Red Sox, you weren't thinking you were going to win it before Giolito went out. With the Cardinals, you still could theoretically win it if, in your scenario, which of course is a hypothetical, that Gray would be out for the season, even though it would reduce your chances materially. So with that all established, I think that they would, because they need ticket revenue this year. That's what I think the mindset is. And I think they hedged enough that they can sell that they're going for it this year, even though I don't think too many fans feel that way. But they can say, look at all the innings we tended to, and we brought in pitchers you've heard of. But I think that they would, in that scenario, go get Montgomery or Snell.
Yeah, I could see that.
Oh, you disagree? I can tell by your that's a tell.
I'm confused, is what I would say, because I hear where you're coming from with guy bringing in ticket revenue. I just think because the division is where it is, I think you could really dominate with one more really good pitcher. And it would benefit the bullpen because you could have Matz, who seemed last year to be a little bit more comfortable, a little bit more controlled in the bullpen, shorter starts as opposed to starting out the game in longer outings. I just think it would benefit you so much. But I don't run the finances, and Montgomery and Snell aren't cheap. So I get that. You've already spent a good amount of money this offseason on pitching. I just think it would benefit from multiple fronts to get one of those 2 guys. So my next question is to you, is hypothetical, pulled out, no hypothetical, arbitrary percentages that they sign either Snell or Montgomery before the season starts.
Oh, Jackson, I have a question. Maybe you can answer it. Maybe you can't. Okay. I don't know. It's tied to how long Gray is out.
Yeah.
And you're going to find that out over the next few days. It's not an injury where right away you go, okay, he's out for
it's
2 weeks.
Touch and go.
You see how he feels. He isn't going to throw for the next few days, his own words. And then if/when this weekend, for example, which I think would probably be the earliest, he starts throwing again, what the timetable is. My guess is they're going to be cautious with this. Why? Because he injured it 2 different times in Minnesota in 2022, including September 2022. So you're not talking about that long ago. But if they knew he was going to be out until after mid-May, for example, which I don't believe is in play here, but who knows? I don't believe it is. Then I think that changes the game. So operating on that perspective, so much of it goes to would Montgomery or Snell be open to a similar structure of a deal that Cody Bellinger did. Now, again, in the case of the Cubs and Bellinger, the Cubs are on the hook for $80 million. But if Bellinger performs above what he would be getting paid for this year and then opts out, then the Cubs are not on the hook for him. And that would certainly be what the Cardinals would want. They would want Montgomery to pitch so well that he would opt out, or Snell pitch so well that he would opt out. So to give you an arbitrary percentage, I will go 26%. 26%.
Wow. I was going to go 7.5%.
Well, hey, maybe you're right.
Yeah. Well, I think with the Gray thing, taking it slowly for a multitude of reasons is the right move. Because, like, if you break the season down to thirds, first third, opening part of the season, middle third being like the dog days of summer, final third, post-trade deadline, home stretch, you're most likely to get the most amount of fans in that first third. Because you're obviously not going to be out of the race. Weather's probably going to be pretty good. That new season honeymoon feel. So even if you're having a little bit of slow start, I still think you get massive attendance. If you're in a bad shape come the last third, we saw what happened last year with that, the attendance is sparse. So I understand it for a multitude of reasons.
There you go. That's Jackson giving us his thoughts. Cardinal Spring Training Report here on Balloon Party. And it's brought to you by, who is it brought to by?
E&B Granite.
There you go. E&B Granite sponsoring the Cardinal Spring Training Report. It is 10:29 in St. Louis. Time check brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers. Second half of Balloon Party coming your way here on 101 ESPN. Munganess St. Louis Acura, Munganess Burkhardt Alton Toyota, presenting sponsor Balloon Party on 101 ESPN and the 101 ESPN YouTube channel. The place I go to get my cars, the place my family goes to get our cars, the place we recommend you go to get your cars and to get your car serviced, even if you didn't get your car from Munganess. They're going to service your car, and then you can start to experience why you want to do business with Munganess St. Louis Acura and Munganess Burkhardt Alton Toyota, and that is the incredible customer service you will experience, whether you're buying a car, leasing a car, new car, pre-owned car, or in the service department. That service department and the job Ryan Seiberg and his crew do, second to none. They're online at stlouisacura.com. They're online at altontoyota.com, and they even set up a number that is specific for our listeners, which is 314-252-0029. That's 314-252-0029. It's Munganess, stlouisacura.com. Munganess, Burkhardt, Alton Toyota, altontoyota.com.
This is Action Jackson with a Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. The Blues lose last night, final score of 4-2 against the New York Islanders. They'll be back in action tomorrow night as they take on the New Jersey Devils. You can catch that game right here on the home of the Blues, 101 ESPN. Pre-game starts at 5 p.m. The puck will drop at 6 p.m. And last night, the Rockets defeat the Spurs 114-101. Alperen Şengün with 45 points. That was their Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, an independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
Welcome back. This is Balloon Party. My name is Tim McKernan. That is Jackson Burkett. And this is 101 ESPN. Jackson, I missed it. The Rockets beat the Spurs, you said, in the Sports Center update?
Yeah, Şengün with 45 points. Career high. You can play.
Sick.
Yeah. Rockets are no good. Neither are the Spurs, honestly.
Your thoughts on the Rockets and the Spurs? 314-399-9646, Air Comfort Service text line. Hey, we got this doing here. How about this? From the great Mike Midnight Rider.
Mm-hmm.
Tackle your 314-day plans with the Battlehawks next Thursday, March 14th at Ballpark Village. Celebrate all things STL with a free 314-day Battlehawks Town Hall event with head coach Anthony Beck and the Battlehawks Brass. The event is free to attend and will feature fan-favorite activities, ticket giveaways, exclusive merchandise, live music, and more. Plus, the Fast Lane will be broadcasting live from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. courtesy of Sumner One. Get all the details now at 101 ESPN. There it is, Jackson. That's coming your way on 314 Day.
Can't wait, baby. 314 day after my birthday, of course.
Yeah, what are you going to be doing for 26 bills? I mean, now that you're a man in love, I mean, I bet she's probably working on something.
Maybe. I definitely want to. It's going to be like 70 degrees on next Wednesday.
Oh, it's ball striking season.
I would really like a nice afternoon.
Will you play the log or bogey club?
You play back to back, baby.
Nice.
2 nines. Make that a sweet little Twilight 18.
Nice.
But definitely want to go out and play golf. That's like an ideal birthday for me. Like, if I can, the best days are if I can play like an hour or two of pickup basketball and then play 18 holes. Like, that's the best day ever.
Well, that sounds great.
I did it Sunday.
Why don't you make that happen, Prince?
Very well. I got work, going to be tough. Only so much sunlight in the day.
All right.
And post-golf, I don't want to play.
So no QFTA next Thursday?
No, we can.
No. I want you to get your basketball and your golf in, and then your loving. I want you to get your loving in.
No, Wednesday we can. I mean, if we did 40 minutes, what was that, yesterday?
Yeah, it's a McKernan Show podcast.
Kept it tight.
To it.
So we have the ability to keep it tight. So I'm cool anytime. Right. Hey, listen, you put up the QFTA bat signal,
and you're in,
and I'll be there.
Even a 2-hour edition that's going to keep you from the golf course on your birthday,
as long as it's during the day.
Okay, well, you think I was going to do a nighttime edition?
Well, yeah, those are out. I'm out on those.
Okay, well, I respect that. Jackson's got another question with this Little Piddles Wide Berth Wednesday. Question 3.
I do indeed. I do indeed. I'm saying indeed.
Yeah, I noticed that. You left the D out.
And it's definitely not because I'm trying to buy time. The Jason Kelce Media Sweepstakes is officially open for business, Tim, as the legendary center announced his retirement on Monday. Play the role of his agent for just a moment. What do you think is the best use for the big man with the big personality?
That's a good question. Now, at this point, there's so many shows. Like it used to be, well, it's Fox, it's CBS, ESPN. Now you got NBC Sunday Night Football. I don't know what NBC is doing with their studio show on Sunday nights, but here's the thing. I know most of you probably don't watch it, so for me to talk about it, it'd be strange. It seems like if your father is associated with the broadcast, you get to be in the studio. So I don't necessarily know what's going on there. That would be the one that could use the most help.
Yeah.
But very rarely can one person have that much impact on a show. I would be an example of that. Jason Kelce, I'd like to see him, kind of doing a grab-ass kind of show like he's doing with his brother on the podcast. I watch that podcast.
I think that's the best use of him.
And I think more like the CBS one has always been such a attempt rip-off of the Fox one. But the Fox one works because, number one, you can tell those guys truly get along. Mm-hmm. Number two, you have the randomness of Terry Bradshaw. So it just works. They
have the dynamic down.
And you can't write out a formula. It's kind of it's an intangible with chemistry. I don't think you get, and so it's like I think putting them on CBS would kind of be a waste. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think.
And then NBC, it's one a week, and I realize CBS and Fox are too theoretically, but I don't think people are tuning in for those like they are with the Fox and CBS ones. So with that said, even though Sunday Night Football does huge numbers, I don't think it's got anything to do with the pregame show, obviously. So I'd like him to do, more of a Manning cast style of thing, not necessarily with Peyton and Eli, because that would mess up their dynamic.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? I don't know what the right thing is.
So I think it's a two-pronged thing. I think you keep doing the podcast. I think that's really good, and I think there's ways to build it up on bigger platforms. I mean, Pat McAfee show is essentially a podcast.
I bet that podcast is not around in 2 years.
You think? I think I don't think maybe this iteration of what is the New Heights podcast might not be, but some variation of it or something just like it, I think could still be around.
What does that mean?
Well, they might change titles because they might change, like a big company might buy them out and then they change
I just don't think Travis and Jason are going to do it. I think they'll both be done playing in a couple of years, and mean, why did it surge?
Because because Taylor Swift,
right?
Certainly, yeah. But I think you get them in with Taylor Swift, and then you keep them there with the personalities.
Nah, I'm shorting. If you want to buy, it's fine. We can have a little wager.
They're certainly as hot as they'll ever be. I'm not going to deny you that. But I think they could still keep
two retired NFL players, and either Kelce's married to her, or he's not, as in Travis. And listen, like I said, I'm a viewer of it. I just don't think it's. I think it's a moment.
Right. And I think the real move is Amazon grabs them up and does not like a Manningcast thing kind of for Thursday Night Football, but not like them broadcasting the game. Them doing a watch along where you have picture in picture with those two sitting down just shooting.
So you got
Al
Michaels and Herb Street calling the game, but then picture in picture of Travis and Jason.
No, the
Kelce?
audio would be taken out. It would just be you could have the on-field audio, but no play-by-play, and just those two hanging out, shooting the breeze.
It could absolutely work. That kind of thing could work. You don't want to be in a spot. Another thing about these studio shows, there's so many guys.
Right.
It works because it's free-flowing. They can use profanity. They can talk about whatever nonsense. They can kind of bust each other's, things. And so that works. But if you're now here's Jack Collinsworth's perspective on the Eagles secondary, it's I'm not going to hear from Travis or Jason.
Yeah, right. The segmented studio show to me just doesn't seem like the best use of
Right. And I think the studio show in 2024, sell your stock on the New Heights podcast and sell your stock on the studio shows. So I'm just telling you. I'm telling you I'm not even telling you where things are going. I'm telling you where things are.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, listen, you might be right. I just think that the personality is so much more conducive to long-form, free-flowing, like you're saying, and most of the traditional NFL media jobs are not that.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
And then furthermore, I don't know if the NFL wants those guys going down that road. Those guys are a little more apt to go rogue than the Manning brothers.
Definitely on that.
You know what I mean?
Definitely on that.
See
totally
what I'm saying?
agree. But they also love money, and
I understand that. I don't know which one they love more because I don't know how much money they're necessarily going to bring in. Hey, did I mention this on TMA? I feel like I didn't mention it on Balloon Party yesterday.
Okay.
Jason Kelce's first NFL game.
Ooh, would it have been that game on 9/11 against the Rams?
So did I mention it or not? Well, either way, okay. Jason Kelce's first NFL game, September 11th, 2011, at what many consider to be the best building in the UFL, and that is the Dome.
Yeah,
your name here.
Yeah.
The Sound Story Dome.
Yeah, it might as well be.
Right.
It's open for business. So just whatever the proposed stadium was going to be, they got that.
Right, National Rent-A-Car.
Yeah, and also Travis Kelce.
I remember talking to Kevin Demoff about that on the phone. He goes, great move by National Rent-A-Car Enterprise. He goes, building's never going to be built, so they get a couple months of free publicity for a building that's never going to be built by sponsoring something that's not going to happen. I go, oh, okay. Sounds like this isn't happening, even though the vote hasn't happened. It's amazing. Watch this, Jackson. All of a sudden, I made myself angry. There goes the bottle. I noticed there were a bunch of bobbleheads lined up, and I didn't want to break them.
Yeah, it did seem like
pulled
you.
back. I lobbed it. That's the throw that I used to make from second base that got me cut as I played the role of Chuck Knobloch.
I could have picked it. Travis Kelce, if you remember a story he told that in his draft process,
he saw a Missouri area code and thought it was the Rams.
And was frustrated.
Right, to say the least.
Yeah, so
Is that because he's anti-St. Louis, or is that because the Rams were warm garbage and he didn't want to come here? Seeing how big of a Blues fan he is, he can't possibly be anti-St. Louis.
Tied for first.
Nice answer. 10:44 in St. Louis. Time check brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers. Get involved on the show. Air Comfort Service text line. I got to do better because Grape Ape Auto Detailing, that's my guy. Always has been. And he called my attention to it, that I don't read enough text. And I got when the McAfee show comes on ESPN, why is it so damn loud? Is that the case? I don't watch it. I'm not anti-Pat McAfee. It's just not my thing.
I have no idea. I never watch it, honestly. That's not, again, it's just not like when you work.
I'll see it on social media clips.
Right.
Like, and AJ Hawk's always just sitting there.
Yeah, when you work.
And I can't tell if that's a thing, like a bit, you know?
Yeah.
Like the ghost in 3 Men and a Baby? Or was that just a Ted Danson cardboard cutout? Your thoughts, 314-399-9646. The 3 Men and a Baby, good or bad?
I don't know if I've ever seen 3 Men and a Baby.
God, that's why I just am wondering about my investment in the site. How can you call yourself all things cinema and not have a review or good or bad on 3 Men and a Baby, especially with The Haunting?
I don't. It's a big blind spot, but I'll put it on my list.
Thank you.
I have a master list.
Thank you. Appreciate that. All right, Jackson, we'll take a commercial break. We'll come back with the final segment of Balloon Party, then BK and Ferrari at the top of the hour. This is Balloon Party on 101 ESPN. Hey, this is Tim McKernan for the Bath Authority. If your bath or shower is old, outdated, has mold, mildew, broken tiles, you've got to call the wonderful people at the Bath Authority. The Bath Authority provides the highest quality bathroom remodeling products along with world-class customer experience. Their modern, durable tubs and showers are designed with an exclusive high-tech polymer liner. Now, what does that mean to you? You know, those are a bunch of words. I don't know what that means to me. Well, I'm a meat and potatoes guy. So I'm going to talk commoner. And that's, I think, important to do. What does it mean? High-tech. Well, what that means is it's going to be low maintenance. It's going to be resistant to mold and mildew. It's easy to clean. And most importantly, it's going to last for decades. Plus, it comes with a lifetime warranty, so they back it up that it's going to last for decades, because if it doesn't, you got a lifetime warranty. Right now, here's what you do. You call 314-347-0410 and get $1,000 off a new shower or bath, plus 36 months of interest-free financing. You are their priority at the Bath Authority. Elevate your bathroom to a new level of luxury, style, and safety. Call today, 314-347-0410 to schedule your free in-home estimate today and get $1,000 off a new shower or bath, plus 36 months of interest-free financing. TheBathAuthority.com. A better bath awaits. Welcome back to McKernan with you, top of the hour. And then it's BK and Ferrario. Jackson Burkett is doing a Little Piddles Wide Berth Wednesday. Come on in. The water is warm. And it's comfortable here, Jackson. So I like what you're doing. I like the Jason Kelce question.
Thank you. Yeah, felt good about it.
All right, well, let's see what you got. Oh, hold on. I just got a text from the non-ling. What do we got here? Tarasenko to Florida, if you haven't seen it.
Oh, wow.
So there's a little breaking news from former TMA producer, wonderful gentleman, now attorney at law. TMA essentially is a launch pad to law school or medical school. And in this case, the non-ling went to law school. I'm sure he'd rather be on HD2 radio, but either way, he is the one providing that information. Vladimir Tarasenko, kind of doing an Edwin Jackson tour around the NHL, and he now heads to Florida. I'm sure he was enjoying Ottawa, but now he's heading to Florida.
Yeah, be with Matthew Tkachuk.
That's correct. Look at that. That wasn't necessarily said, of course, as a fact to the audience, but just kind of like a look what I know. That's what I sensed that was.
Pretty nice to be able to be, it's early March in Ottawa, and they're like, hey, we're going to send you down to Fort Lauderdale. And you're like, oh, sounds good. Yeah,
I would imagine. So he probably will be on a line with Matthew Tkachuk, as a matter of fact.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
He wins face-offs.
Look at you.
Yeah.
What's going on here?
We're just taking W's today. That's what I'm doing.
What's going on? You broke up with Jamie Rivers, but then your hockey knowledge has started to surge. I wonder what's going on with you.
I wonder if there's a correlation there. Jamie's not here to defend himself, so I'll keep his name out my mouth.
I'm sure he's watching on the YouTube while sitting in a hotel. And what do you think they are? You think they're in? I wonder about this. I really do. These are the kinds of. You know what I'm asking?
Yeah, like where in New York?
All right, so they play on Long Island last night.
Yep.
They play in New Jersey.
Yep.
Bridge and Tunnel.
That's right.
Tomorrow, and then play at Madison Square Garden on Saturday. Do they just stay in one spot, all in like Lower Manhattan? That's what I would think the move is.
I would think they would stay all in one spot in like North Jersey, like near like Hoboken or Jersey City. I feel like that would be
chairman of the board.
Yeah, it'd just be easier to get around. If you're looking at hotel expenses, compare like Lower Manhattan compared to North New Jersey.
Sure,
whole different ball game, and you're pretty centrally located. Like you can get to all three arenas in a somewhat timely fashion, depending on traffic.
Fair enough.
I do find that stuff interesting, too. Like, where do players live when you play in New York? Like, I don't think a lot of Yankees and Knicks are living in Manhattan. Like, I think they're probably living in, like, Connecticut or North Jersey or something like that.
So they're living in the Bronx if they play for the Yankees?
No, I do not. I do think Brooklyn Nets players live in Brooklyn because their arena is, like, right there in Brooklyn with their practice facility. Like, the Knicks practice in, like,
always
upstate.
has to get the NBA in, doesn't he?
Not upstate,
Never
but
New
York State.
We're having a great conversation about hockey, and it always goes back to NBA. Am I saying this out loud?
Do you think that...
I'm texting somebody right now. Let me just text Bill.
I was thinking, like...
Hey, Bill.
Which of the New York teams would you, like, be most fired at? It would have to be the Rangers, right, playing in the Garden?
Oh, my God, Jamie Rivers is listening to the show.
Is he really?
And I won. Damn. I was about to flip you off. I don't think I can do that. I mean, I guess I can, right?
Yeah.
It's YouTube.
Yeah.
And what others would people expect from me?
Right. They'd be like,
how about this one? Now he gave out the exact hotel. That probably is not for the air. We're staying in Manhattan this whole week.
Oh, okay. So I was dead wrong.
Yes.
Good for them. That's a lot more fun.
If he was staying in Jersey, he probably wouldn't have texted in.
Yeah, you're probably right. But that's cool.
He told me the hotel. I'll see where it is in the city. Yeah, I kind of thought, as I said it, I'm like, I bet they're in Midtown.
Yeah, because that's right by the Garden.
That and just a bunch more hotels that are larger sizes.
Yeah, but downtown, that's where all the action is.
Sure, but I mean, these guys are focused on looking at game film and not the New York nightlife. Jackson, do you have any other questions?
Yeah, I run St. Louis starter packs.
I do. I actually do know that.
Yeah, so talking about,
That is... next to Ella Reese, who I feel like is starting to percolate a little bit again, which has me super excited. It's the best account on Instagram.
Thank you.
Your account, St. Louis Starter Packs.
Yeah, thank you. One of the big topics.
It takes all of the wonderful St. Louis inside humor and stereotypes and has turned it into, I don't even know how many followers you have now. I'm sure you do because you're out, marketing it.
When you're so focused on the content, you don't worry about the follower count.
Wow.
You just know it'll come.
Nice.
But either way, the big topic last week was top 30 moments of the last.
Such an odd moment for a pause.
I gotta like space out my questions better. It looks like one big jumbled mess when I go look at it.
Yeah, when you pause, I'm like,
it's never intentional.
am I supposed to fill this?
No.
And just yell out 49ers. I don't know. All right, what do we got?
Well, big topic last week was the top 30 moments of the last 30 years. What do you think the top 5? The
Top 30 St. Louis sports. I mean, if we're to say top moments of the last 30 years, we're including global history.
Yeah.
And it's going to be so subjective.
We can do both.
Right, and we will do 30 moments in global history tomorrow on Balloon Party. But this is the top 30 moments in St. Louis sports history. And what is your question? This is on your
Like, what do you think the top 5, like the consensus top 5 would be? It doesn't have to be in any order.
Game 6, 2011 World Series. I like doing moments specifically.
Right, as opposed to games or series.
So if you do moments, I mean, you can isolate to like 2 nights, I feel like, and perhaps get 4 moments.
Yeah, for real.
And one of those would be June of 2019 and one would be October 2011.
Yeah.
But when you say 30 years, you have to, I don't think, it depends on how you view it when you construct this list for your Instagram account. Is it in the moment or is it now looking back on it? Because certainly the way St. Louisans view, if they're old enough to remember Mike Jones' tackle or Ricky Proehl's catch,
Proehl's catch is one that I thought of.
I was in the building for that, and I've just never felt. Now, I wasn't in the building for Maroon's goal. See, Maroon's goal, I think, has to be live.
That'd be considered.
I mean, Game 7, it's literally do or die. Second overtime, a guy who was a healthy scratch a few months earlier for a team that was garbage a few months earlier, and now they're going to the Western Conference Finals. What else could you ask for? And you got the same thing with another hometown guy who was flopping around with some issues of his own. Off the field, and now he does that, battling. God, man. But then how do you not go to winning the Stanley Cup and just hoisting the chalice in Boston just that moment?
It's tough.
I'm telling you, that's why you and this Instagram account have a big responsibility. My wife took a picture of me, and I didn't know that she was, and this wasn't when I was dressed in negligee. This was when I was watching Pietrangelo hoist the chalice, and I'm kind of in the surrender cobra mode. Because I'm just like, holy crap, this is actually happening. But at the same time, after Freeze hit that ball off the wall against Neftali Feliz, I had so much sweat on my hands that I left imprints of my tiny little pincers. My tiny little pincers left imprints on the floor, hardwood floors, of course, very wealthy, of the place we were living, downtown St. Louis, Park Pacific, shout out. And so, like, how can I take something over that? But what if I fell to the ground when Mike Jones made the tackle?
I
almost passed out when Ricky Proehl made the catch. You've got a tall order here with that Instagram account.
Hey, listen, it's my cross to bear.
All right. When are you going to be releasing the top 5?
Oh, boy.
Nice.
Find out tomorrow on Balloon Party.
All right, there it is. Deep tease. All right, time for us to land the plane because BK and Ferrari are coming in to do BK and Ferrario from 11 to 2. So we will wrap it up here and be back tomorrow at 10 a.m. when Jackson when he will reveal his top 5 moments in St. Louis sports over the last 30 years on his Instagram account, St. Louis Starter Packs. For Jackson Burkett, I'm Tim McKernan. This has been Balloon Party on 101 ESPN. James Carlton is with us here. He's my insurance agent, Jackson. I think he should be everybody's. As a matter of fact, he's in Webster Groves. Can't say enough good things about him. James, what's the good word? What can you tell our audience the good word is today on a lovely Wednesday in St. Louis?
I doubt that the Blues are staying at the Drury Inn, but don't sleep on their happy hour that they give out for everybody who stays there.
Double live
Drury Inn
read.
Happy hour. And I would say
subleasing your live reads.
The greatest sports moment of the last year that I attended was that 62-yarder from Harrison Mevis.
That's a good answer right there,
I
Jackson.
really enjoyed it. That's just from the last year.
Put that in your count. Yeah, that's a good answer,
Everything's
James.
good. Everything's good, my friend Tim. We actually, on that Slap and Tickle show that you do from 7 to 10, just saved somebody from that show $2,000 a year. And that's a shout out to Matt. So welcome aboard, Matt. We appreciate the business. We appreciate the partnership with you and Jackson and everybody else at 101.
Yeah, that is a great thing to hear because so many people have made the switch to James Carlton and started saving money, plus experience that customer service that James and his staff pride themselves in. 314-961-4800 or go online at carltoninsurance.net. If your insurance costs a leg and an arm, call James Carlton, State Farm.